Hey, hello, and welcome to this episode of What the Block. And today we're talking about eventGate. As everything else, you can find it under your list of blocks in your data flow. And let's quickly go over its properties. So normally you would find it with several permanent properties like reset, log order, unfinished event, and order output. And then three predefined inputs, which can be expanded or reduced. So you can add inputs and you can remove inputs as well. So what is it used for? So this block will give you a trigger when all of the inputs have received an event. In other words, for example, if you have three inputs, three clicks that you need to do in order for something to happen, this block would do that for you. And I mean three clicks from three different sources. I don't mean three clicks on the same item. So I've prepared a few elements here to demonstrate the functionality. Now, right now, nothing is linked to any of these. So don't worry about missing any logic that might have happened behind the scenes. There was none of that. So these are just pure components, three shapes, three circles, and one text element with number 0 as its value. So let's quickly set up a demonstration and then we'll analyze what is going on. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to link on-click action from each of these circles here to each of the inputs of my eventGate block. So 1, 2, and 3. Now notice I'm not doing them I'm doing in the opposite order. So the leftmost is my input 2, well, third input basically, input index 2, and my rightmost one is the input 0. This is just so you don't get confused when you see the order output. Next what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a state block, and to look up how that one works, watch an episode on the state block, which explains exactly what it does. And the state block will do two things. It's going to reset my event gate. So it's going to trigger the reset, and I'm going to disable serialization just as a good practice. And next thing it's going to do is going to tick up the count on this text box. So it's going to affect my text, and it's going to set it to, I'm going to use add block here. It's going to add, so it's going to take the current number in the text box, add 1, and that's what the state block is going to set back to the text. And of course, no serialization. All right. So one last thing that I have to do is link on finish to the invoke. There you go. Now you see the instance events here. These are expired events. These are basically from the time that I was clicking on these before recording this video. So there was an old event value in here. As you can see, it did not trigger anything at all because these are all expired events, so you can safely ignore them. And you can see that they didn't have any effect because the count did not tick up. Okay, so first let's see how this works, and then we'll go through different options. So I'm going to switch to preview mode. I click preview twice to bring back my data flow editor so we can see the data flow together with the page in the preview mode. And let's go ahead and start clicking. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. Right? Nothing happened. 1, 2, 3. Nothing happened. Now let me try and reset it. 1, 2, 3. This time something happened. So what just happened? Well, what happened is basically because I had old events there, right? The eventGate block basically didn't think it was ready to start counting from fresh. So I had to reset it before it would start counting my events again. And normally this state block would reset it, but as you can imagine, the state block never got invoked because unfinished never happened the first time around. Okay, from now on, if I now execute 3 clicks, right, you see it fires the state block. Notice it does not matter what order I click them in. It also does not matter how many times I click each one, as long as all 3 have been clicked. Now, this is log order none, so you have no output here on the order. So let's try log order first occurrence. So let's try this one more time. 1, 2, 3. Well, this time you get an order of clicks output. So if it's important to you in what order things were clicked, and keep in mind, this doesn't have to be clicks, right? Any events will do here. Then first occurrence means that if you clicked more than once on one of the objects, it will only record first of those clicks, first of those events. So which means if I do, again, keep in mind they're reversed, right? This one is actually 2, this is 1, this is 0. So if I do 2, 1, 1, 1, 0, right? I still get the same order, or 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, right? Now it's different order, right? I only get first index here. Last occurrence will do the same, but will record the last click on the component. This basically has a meaning when you do something like this. Click, 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 right? So when you keep switching the 2 of them until you hit the last one. So it will show you only the last combination that led to all of them being clicked. And finally, all will, of course, record all of the indices being triggered, right? Notice that now I have 3 number 1s triggered, but the whole thing still only fired when it got all 3 inputs, right? So it doesn't matter that I clicked index 1 here, the middle one, 3 times, right? It still didn't fire until I hit the last one, index 2. So similarly, you can do something like this, right? You can click these back and forth all you want, but until you click the third one, nothing's going to happen. Okay, so I think this demonstrates quite well exactly what this block does and what it's used for. Keep in mind that unless you're starting with all nulls on all the inputs, you have to do initial reset. And for the event gate to be ready again, it has to be reset after the unfinished has fired, which is exactly why my state block resets the event gate. So once the conditions were satisfied and a gate has opened, the first action that I do is reset that gate so it's ready to start counting your events again. Okay, well, hopefully this is pretty clear, and I'm sure you'll find great uses for this block. Until next time, this is Paul Sinenko.